Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Bad Lit Friends, the writing podcast that still barely knows what it's doing. I am your host, Megan Thompson Mann, and this is my co host.
Hi, I'm Kirk Rafferty.
And this week we are talking archetypes, character archetypes to be specific. And we are putting them in the dock and putting them on trial in another one of our ranking episodes because Megan and Kirk are lazy and they also like doing ranking episodes.
Yeah, it was the last time we did it. It was pretty fun.
Even though we agreed with each other like most of the
I
time.
know. I'm gonna try not to agree with you. I'm gonna stir up some drama. I
Okay.
think. I think we're gonna come out of this hating each other. If I do my job, yeah, this may be the last episode of Bad Lit Friends.
So, tell us, Mr. Rafferty, about your sojourn at Pikes Peak Writers Conference.
Yeah. So I had a lot of fun. Lot of sessions. So it was 3 days. It was a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it was great. So I might have mentioned a couple times that I am looking at self-publishing my novel that died on sub, and so I basically attended all of the business tracks this time around. So there were business and writing, and there's a third one that escapes my mind. And so I did the business ones, learned a lot about self-publishing, asked a lot of questions. It was definitely worth my time. And I will also say I can't talk too much about this, unfortunately. I really want to talk about it. But I will just say, and I've posted this on the socials already, go to BarCon. For anybody that doesn't know, it's usually Saturday night. It's after all the sessions are over, after dinner is over, after the keynote speeches is done. Everybody congregates at the hotel bar and you mingle and you meet people. And I met somebody really cool. No, it was not a literary. I did meet a literary agent. I talked to them. It was very nice, but that was not the cool meeting I had. I had a very cool meeting with a person. We'll see if that bears any fruit or not. Anyway, highly recommend BarCon because this is where those kinds of things happened. Had I just said, I'm tired, I just had, a full meal, dessert, whatever. I'm going to go to my room now so that I'm bright and early for tomorrow's sessions. This opportunity may not have presented itself. So anybody going to conferences, go to BarCon. That's where the magic happens.
Ooh. Well,
Yeah.
it's true, actually.
I'm sorry. That's where the possible magic happens.
Thank
Yeah.
you for the clarification.
Yeah, you bet.
And how's your writing going on top of all of that?
Writing has been once again pretty slow. I did have to so the RMFW conference is actually I'm doing them a disservice. It is the Colorado Gold Conference. It's
Yeah,
put on by
sorry.
Rocky Mountain Fiction
Yes.
Writers. So it is the Colorado Gold Writers. They have a contest that is going on right now. If you are listening to this when this episode drops, submissions will still be open for the Colorado Gold Writing Contest. They are accepting new genres this year. So they've expanded it and highly recommend, even if you are not attending the conference, submit to this.
Yeah, we'll have a link in the show notes as well.
Great idea. Yeah. All of that to say that I actually did pause to go back to my work in progress and polish up that first chapter and get it ready, get it submission worthy. And it has been off. It is submitted. It is sitting somewhere in the cloud, ready for the Colorado Gold judges to take a look. And then so that they can crown me prom queen
As they should.
and drop a bucket of blood on my head. But
That's
yeah,
that's right. I would expect no less.
that's
I too am submitting this year for
yeah,
Colorado Gold for the first time.
awesome.
And if you're a women's fiction writer, please don't submit. I intend to fix this contest as best as I can for myself so I can get the recognition that I deserve. So please help me. Help, aid me in my delusion.
Oh, yeah. I'm submitting in horror, so please don't submit in horror. Yeah,
Don't worry about that.
good luck, yeah. I'm sure people will listen.
So, I actually had a semi-productive weekend last weekend. Even though I had a late start on Saturday, I managed to grind out my 2,000 words.
Amazing.
Whether or not I get this done before my wedding, I have zero clue at this point because I have been in deposition hell at work. That's okay. The only person giving myself deadlines is me. So, you
Yeah,
know, but I am very disappointed in myself. But I the end is near. I am in the third to last chapter, and the great undoing has begun. And we are about to reach the denouement. So let's see how far
Awesome.
we get this
I'm
weekend
excited
because
for you.
yeah,
That's awesome.
tomorrow is my first dress fitting. So unfortunately, writing will be interrupted to go
You can
look like
count
a
that as writing time somehow.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go look like a big cream and black cupcake somewhere in downtown LA. So think of me. So this week, as we said, we are going to be talking about character archetypes and, talking a little bit first about what are they? Why do they exist? And we're going to put them on trial. We're going to court because Megan's been in court today. Megan was in
Oh,
court
no.
today in Long Beach, at which a judge who is 100% her favorite judge, just in case he's listening, did take her to task, but not as much as he could have. So,
I did not bring my white wig. I'm sorry.
Your Honor, this one's for you. So, archetypes, shorthand, right? So,
Mhm.
what's
Mhm.
what do you think of when you think of an character archetype?
I mean, I think of them as kind of inevitable, right? I think that you can set out to create a character archetype. So I'm gonna I'm gonna write a fantasy novel about a chosen one who, throws a sword in a volcano. So automatically you're thinking archetypes right there. But I also think that you can just kind of come up with a story and say, I've got this idea about this person that goes through a thing. Once you start kind of analyzing it and put the story together, you realize, oh, that is this archetype. It is, whatever that. I'm doing a really bad job of talking about archetypes, but that maybe you've got, I don't know, your person goes on this adventure, but doesn't starts out not really wanting to, right? And all of a sudden, oh, look at that. I've got a reluctant hero.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I think of that.
I think with archetypes, when we're dealing with archetypes, it's kind of like, it the in the famous lawsuit that went to the Supreme Court, the US Supreme Court, about obscenity, and what constitutes obscenity, one of the Supreme Court justices said, "What is obscenity? I know it when I see it."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
with an archetype
You always have better answers than me.
sorry.
But yes,
That
yes,
was on the
absolutely.
fly, I will add. But, yeah, you know what? When you see it, because it's like, I've seen it before. Um, this reminds me of that, that this character, is this a modern retelling of this old story? Or why does, this character remind me of that character even though it's a totally different story, right? So I
I defy you to write a story that where your main character or even supporting characters does not fall into an archetype.
Mhm.
That's how kind of entrenched in literature, in storytelling
Yeah.
that archetypes are.
Yeah, and, like, there's look, I am not a psychologist, thank God. I am not a philosopher, but I know an itty bitty, a tiny, tiny bit about Carl Jung and Jungian archetypes and, this whole concept of and I brought up for myself the I'm not gonna go through all of them, but that Jungian psychology, says, "Okay, there are these characters and plots and situations that keep coming up in the
Mhm,
human experience again and again
mhm.
and again. We tell stories. We're humans. We are hardwired to tell stories. And these are the same stories that keep coming up across cultures, across time. But, there are symbols, there are situations, there are characters that just keep repeating over and over and over again. He said they tap into this collective unconscious. Or is it because they just resonate with us because we see these characters and situations in our own lives?
Sure. I think we're just wired this way.
We're
Yeah.
just wired this way. So and also they're fun to talk about, and it's
Mhm.
fun I mean, I personally find it fun when I've been writing something for a while and then I see that I've accidentally written an archetype, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing a good job," or
Well, and I mean, I don't think it's an accident. I think that, like we just said, our brains are wired this way, and so when you kind of start developing a story, Whether you're writing it down or I mean they all begin kind of as a little flicker in our head, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's about the time your archetype is born too.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
So they're very useful. They're a shortcut for readers who have expectations, which you can then subvert. Also very good.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you can end up writing yourself into a box if you think that I want to stick to this archetype, like this is important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't fit the story that you're trying to tell. And then you're like, well, what's more important, the archetype or the story? Should the archetype be driving the story? Should the story be driving the character? I mean, that's an episode for another time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they can also feel flat or like bolted on if you're not handling them properly. So we are here to put them on trial, and we're going to do one of our ranking episodes, as we said before. We're going to use the same ranking system that we did before because we're lazy, and it
I'm
works.
gonna reveal my nerdiness here. I feel like Q from Star Trek:
Oh,
The Next Generation, and he's dressed up in his judge garb and stuff, and we are putting archetypes on trial. Yeah.
listeners, he is actually in judge's robes right now. I
Yes, you
can I
can't
can
see that,
promise
but
you. Yes. So we're going to be judging basically like should they survive this trial? Cuz this is death penalty
oh,
time.
this is death penalty. Oh
This is
my
death
god. This
penalty
is
time.
great. I can
Yes.
kill an archetype.
Yes, but you can
Okay.
also argue down for murder. I mean, you can argue down to manslaughter. You could argue down to like involuntary vehicular homicide.
Okay. Jaywalking. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Jaywalking and somebody died. And it wasn't you. So we're gonna argue like, do these guys have staying power?
Okay, let's do it.
Yep. So we've got quick reminder: S tier, superior. Yep. A tier, we adore it. B tier, it's fine. C tier, conditional. D tier, done, yuck, whatever. F tier, dead. Dead to
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
awful. Let's start with the big dogs. Some of the ones Jungian archetypes and classics. But let's start with the wise elder.
Sure.
Yes. So,
We're talking about Gandalf,
it's
right? We're
exactly what I
talking
thought
about
of.
Dumbledore. We don't talk about Dumbledore, but
So, like in Downton Abbey, like Violet Crawley. I mean, dispenser of wisdom with barbs, right? So, yeah.
and usually your mentor character is kind of crotchety, right? Yeah.
Yes, older
And older, for
and
sure.
older. That's a pretty important part of it. It's a guide. Look.
So, I grew up reading a lot of Lord of the Rings, a lot of fantasy. There was always, this particular character, especially fantasy, there was always the wise old wizard. But, I also read Westerns,
Mhm,
and there was always, the old cowhand that had been around, seen everything, done everything. There was also the wise old, Native American, right? Man, it's already hard because I like me a mentor,
mhm,
but I do think that it tends to be a little bit of a crutch sometimes. So, you've got you take like Gandalf is the perfect example. Without Gandalf, Bilbo does not even make it to go kill the dragon, let alone actually kill the dragon.
mhm,
Without Gandalf, the ring is just Sauron takes over the Middle Earth. Now, that's not to say that I feel like Gandalf was overused, but my point is there's a lot of power in a mentor. And I do feel like a lot of fiction overuses the mentor. So I'm thinking of like Sword of Shannara, which was one of my favorite books. And there was this old druid named Alanon in it. And if you so I went back and I read Sword of Shannara about I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago or so, and he was so OP, he was so overpowered. He just anytime they ran into something that Terry Brooks was great about kind of painting his characters into a corner, and then it was the mentor, Al-Anon, who got them out of the corner. And uh, I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a C tier.
mm. So would you say that it it is that there are certain genres that are more prone to having this as an archetype.
Well, sure. Classic fantasy, right?
Mhm.
In any kinds of swords and sorcery type fantasy, it's a staple. But there can be so let's think about something like horror. You can have a mentor in
Yeah.
horror. And a lot of times, so it's kind of funny. So we think of the typical, let's say, teen slasher film, right? And I mean, teen slasher films are full of archetypes. Like they're
Yeah.
literally built on
Yeah, Cabin
archetypes.
in the Woods is
Cabin
literally about archetypes in horror.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's take Cabin in the Woods. There's a scene where they're going up to they're driving up to the cabin, they stop at the gas station, and there's the old spooky guy running the gas station. I kind of feel like he fits the mentor role in that. He is not a traditional mentor by any means. He's kind of an antagonist. He's an asshole. And but he's basically their last stop. He's the guy saying don't go. He's the guy they should have listened to, but they didn't. He's the wise elder. And so horror is filled
Mhm.
with the mentor, the wise elder.
Yeah. Think about Buffy, right? You have
Oh,
Giles.
yeah. Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I mean, he's often ridiculous, but he's also the elder,
No, yeah,
and yeah,
yeah,
he's
absolutely.
he's he's their mentor, like it or not, and it works. Horror, fantasy,
Mhm,
science fiction.
mhm.
You see it less in, like, romance. Occasionally, you see it, the fun-loving maiden aunt who may
Sure.
be telling our little, ingenue, "Yeah, he's hot, but," it's
But even like like little cozy romances where, the woman who runs the cupcake shop and the big city slicker who gets stranded in the
Mhm.
snowstorm or
Yeah.
whatever. There's all so one or both of those characters will make the wrong decisions to end up together,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And there will typically be somebody in their lives, maybe it's a sister of the cupcake baker who says, like you're really being a jerk. You're screwing this up, right? And so that's a mentor
It's a
role.
mentor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So how do I feel about it?
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. I think that it's probably like a B minus for me. I've sounded pretty down on it, but I actually think it's probably a B. It depends on the genre. I think that when we have it where it's less encountered, like let's say in like lit fic, maybe,
Mhm.
um, I might be more interested in it. And if it's in I mean, I'm not a big reader of fantasy, but it's like, look, God, there's always gonna be one. I'm probably gonna go, I've seen it before. So I'm gonna put it B minus. It really has a lot to do with the material, how it's being handled. The more I think about these wise older women in romances telling younger women like, "Girl, I've been there before. Fuck whatever the fuck you're doing it wrong." I actually really love that, because now I think I have, started aging into that role. So yeah, I'm for it there. So I'm gonna put it a B
So I
minus.
rated it a C. You're
Yeah.
you're in the B tier. It's okay to
Yeah.
be wrong, Megan. It's okay.
I'm
Um,
glad that you
y
say that about
your
yourself.
your opinions are terrible. I just
You know,
I'm just trying to create drama here. I don't know. I'm
I am
terrible at this.
rubber, you are glue.
Damn it.
Okay. So
I
yeah,
hate
okay.
being the glue.
So, okay. How about, the trickster?
Trickster. So the trickster. This is your character who I mean, it can be kind of your comedy relief, or it can just be somebody who is constantly throwing a monkey wrench into the works. They're typically not your antagonist, but the antagonist sure does benefit from them often, right?
Mhm,
So obviously the prototype trickster is Loki, right?
mhm,
And so we can say Loki from mythology, or we can say Loki from the Marvel films, whatever.
mhm.
Loki, the trickster god, who is just constantly thwarting your efforts. I will tell you, I'm a big fan of the trickster.
Me too.
I
We might
think
agree on this
that
one.
the trickster is kind of an underused character. The problem with the trickster is that you can quickly devolve into, like if you're writing a serious novel, it can come off as very forced and verge into farce. So I think it's hard to write.
Yeah, I agree with
I
you.
will tell you, so my first book, I actually have who I think it falls in the trickster archetype, sort of. My hero is saddled with these 2 children. The 2 children, she's basically gotta, she must escape from the law. She's gotta bring these children with her. One of the children is, he's 10 years old, and he hates her. He absolutely hates her, and he does whatever he can to kind of sabotage her,
Mhm.
not understanding that he is working against his own interests because he's 10 years old. He's an idiot because 10-year-olds are idiots. I'm sorry. Your trickster can be a lot of different things. Now, I use him in a way in that he's actually a little bit of a tragic character as well. He's not the trickster in the Loki sense. He's a trickster in just that he's kind of getting in the way. And so, that's one end of the spectrum where it's not super obvious that it's trickster. The other end of the spectrum is somebody like, say, Jack Sparrow, right? So where you've got somebody who is their own worst enemy in kind of the most comedic ways possible.
Yeah. So I think of sort of shapeshifters when I think of tricksters.
Oh, yeah.
I think about, like, going back into Greek mythology, we think about Hermes, and he's the god of travelers, he's the
Mhm.
god of thieves, he can transmute and transform, he
Isn't
passes.
he the guy with the wings on his feet
Yes,
too? Yeah,
yes.
yeah, see,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's passing between
He's the god of wings on feet?
he's the god of yes, yes.
Yeah.
When you need to have wings
I'm
on your
very
shoes.
classically trained, I want you to know
He
that.
is, but he's a god who can traverse the boundary between humanity and divinity
Mhm,
easily, like, the border is very thin when it comes to him.
mhm.
So, this is somebody who's mutable, right? Ever changing, ever shifting, and somebody who literally plays tricks, right? So, like, think about maybe Tom Sawyer is a trickster to some
Mhm.
extent when he's doing the whole painting the white fence, right? Or like
Yeah, yeah.
tricking his friends into painting the white fence. So it's somebody who can be different things to different people at different times, but they are subverting the order of things, but different from the fool, right? So this is somebody who has insight and isn't playing naive. They know what they're doing.
Right. Right.
So I am currently writing in my book right now someone who has elements of the trickster in him, who
Mhm.
is in the next book in this series is going to come out a lot more because he came into the book, like, in the last third, and I love him, and now I don't know what to do because I fucking love him. But he is upsetting
Kill
the
him.
order. I know I can't
Megan,
kill
kill
him.
him. Kill him.
It's not
Kill him.
not that kind of book. So,
Do
but
not
he
edit my kill hims out.
I am not editing those kill hims out. NSA, if you're listening. But there's a very rigid order that has been put in place for very good reasons. I mean, they're bullshit reasons, but good reasons
Mhm.
to the character.
Mhm.
And he's trying to poke holes and make it fall apart, but he's charming. He's very charming. He's different things to different people at different times, and you can't pin him down.
Yeah.
So I love the trickster. I will come
'Kay.
out and say that this is for me S tier. Boom.
Yeah.
What about you?
You're making me choose F tier, aren't you? You're just gonna do that, aren't you?
S minus?
No, I agree.
Okay.
S tier. I think I love a good trickster archetype because, they introduce that chaos into
Mhm.
your book when you need it, and we've all hit that in for me, it comes, like, in the 2nd act, right in the middle, right? That sagging middle when you feel like your book is losing inertia. That's an archetype that can really just, roll the dice and throw in some
Yep.
chaos and change things. So, yeah,
Blow it all
solid
up.
S tier. Yeah, 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 exactly,
Not
exactly.
literally blow it all up.
Or literally.
It is fiction.
That's
NSA, it's fiction. So,
Douglas Adams in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I think it was probably within the first third of the book, blew the earth up. So, yeah, you can do that.
you can do it. You're the writer.
Mhm.
You can do whatever you want within reason. and your talents. I mean, you can exceed your talents. I've done it.
I think I've
I think we've
sadly
all done.
done it, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So, how about the outcast, the misfit?
Yes. So one of the things that we should really call out here in case it's probably driving people nuts. And because I kind of thought it should be just taken for granted, but maybe it's not. Your main character and your characters can be an amalgam of different
Mhm.
archetypes, right? Your hero can be an outcast, right? So I hope we weren't driving anyone crazy by pigeonholing characters into one thing. So yes, I love the outcast. I would say that let me think about this. My first book is an outcast. My second book is an outcast. My third book is an outcast. So I love outcasts.
What are you trying to say to us?
Yeah, I'm trying to say that I'm taking the S slot and you're gonna have to choose something else.
I am choosing something else. I think like any of these things, in good hands, it's a solid choice. Oftentimes, I think it can be used as a substitute for actual character development.
Hmm.
Like, he's just misunderstood or nobody gave her a chance. It can become like the worst definition of an archetype,
Yeah.
flat.
Right.
Flat. Like you're just slotting it in. I don't need to do anything more. All you need to know about, Susie is that nobody liked her. And you know what? She doesn't care. So blah blah blah. It is. But why? Why are there reasons why people don't like her? Even if they're misguided. Why? Does anybody like her? In which case, maybe the problem is Susie. And I see it. We have our pet genres. I'm going to talk about romance. I'm
Mhm.
going to talk about women's fiction and also girls' fiction, what used to be called girls' fiction. And there are many stories, and these are really important stories, I think, for young people to read about outcasts and misfits, because most of us feel like that at some point or another in our lives.
Mhm.
But if there's not more character development where you can see that the misfit, like the young misfit is just misunderstood, it can just feel like, well, I don't like her. Maybe there's a reason why I don't like her. And in romance, you see it like this poor ugly duckling
Yes,
overlooked. Nobody gave her a chance, but she's actually a beautiful swan
that's
that
right.
one day, Prince,
She's
Filberto.
Ally Sheedy in The Breakfast Club, and all she
Yes.
had to do was wear a little makeup.
She just and push her hair back, and that's it. She's not actually neurodivergent, which
Right.
she clearly is. She just needed a headband.
Mhm.
I will tell you as somebody who is very possibly on the spectrum and also wears headbands don't fix it. It's just
Huh,
how you are.
how about that?
Sorry, if there is a headband, I haven't found it yet.
Invaluable medical advice from Badly Friends.
Always, forever. This is where you come for all kinds of advice. But I also have loved so many misfits and outcasts because I've identified so strongly with them. So this is such a hard one for me because it's like an analog of there was a little girl with a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when
Mhm.
she was good, she was very, very good. And when she was bad, she was horrid, right? That's kinda how I feel about it. It can be so good and so satisfying when the misfit, the outcast, like, rock 'em, sock 'em, like, fuck you." They don't even have to, like, get to the top of the social tier. It's just, comeuppance, you know? But at the same time, it's just, yeah, you wrote a really desperately unlikable character that
Yeah.
has nothing to say about her except for that people don't like her, and I'm supposed to like her?
Or
Nah.
here's what I find when misfit characters are done poorly, and that is the reason that they are an outcast is because they're so cool and everybody else isn't. I
Look,
mean,
some of
we
us
see
have
this
that
in
problem. I mean, person
I know, but
yeah,
we're so cool that we're boring though, also.
speak
Um,
for yourself.
so, here's a really common example. So, you're from out of your main character is from out of town. It's the first day of school. They're just so cool and these other kids pick on them just because they're new, and it turns out like they're just so much smarter than these other kids or they're so much, more adept at something. The teacher loves them, right? Those bore me. I mean, the trope, hey, new kid in school having a hard time adjusting. I love that trope. It's a
Yeah.
great trope. I
Unless
just
it's
think
Twilight, in which case,
unless it's Twilight,
yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
And I can say that because you know what? She's
She
what
is
is she? Like, she's
rolling
like a
in
billionaire.
fuck you
Yeah,
money, so I don't care.
exactly,
We
yeah,
don't
so
we say 2 things. Number 1, don't shit on other writers, but
mhm.
the corollary is always punch
Sh
up.
shit on the rich writers.
Shit on the rich writers
Can
within
I
reason.
can I tell you who my favorite misfit is?
Yes, please.
Frankenstein,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
Yeah.
my god. I mean, the first time I read Frankenstein,
I'm sorry, Frankenstein's monster.
sorry, Frankenstein's monster.
In that little 15-second gap there, people were losing their
I know.
shit over that,
It's like
yeah.
when people so I have 2 things. When people say hung and they mean hanged, I will always say, ask Shane. If we're listening to a podcast and they said, "Well, they hung him high," and I'll go, "Hanged." It's the other one is when people say, "Drinking the Kool-Aid," and I will always say, "Actually, it's Flavor Aid."
Yeah. Yeah, I
Sorry.
know.
Yeah. So
That's
yes,
just who
we
you are.
know it's Frankenstein's monster. Okay, but yes, I read it in sophomore English class and I cried.
Mhm.
I remember being at home and reading it kind of late at night for class the next day because I don't think anybody's gonna be surprised to know that I'm a procrastinator. And I cried in bed.
Yeah, no, he is the ultimate misfit, he's the ultimate outcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
It
notes.
yeah.
10 of 10.
God, why are you now making me think it's S? Okay, no, but I don't think it's S.
Okay, well, you know what I think. It's S. It's S plus.
Okay.
It's S
B
plus, S, and S minus, that way you can't do any of the S's.
B plus
Oh my
A
god.
minus straddle.
You are out of your mind.
I sorry. Dude, you have not read some of the shit that I
I
have
can't
read.
do this, I can't be mean to you, Megan.
It's okay. You could be as mean as you want.
Okay.
I'm a
You're just a
lawyer.
duty head, Megan. No, see, I feel terrible saying that. No, I can't be mean to you. I'm sorry.
Because I know it's not true. And people say worse things to me all the time. So look, we are
I'm
we
not
are
gonna be able to
disagreeing,
sleep
folks.
tonight because I said that.
Good.
I think
Are you
I
taking the
think you're
magnesium glycinate? It will help you sleep.
I am, yeah.
Good, good. So we're gonna move on to some genre staples.
Mhm.
Would you like to select one from the selection?
Yeah, I'll make this easy. I'll do the chosen one, and already I'm just gonna tell you that it's a D for me,
Yep.
not because I
We're
don't
already on
like
record about this, actually.
yeah,
We've
yeah,
already
we are.
yeah.
And so I'll just wind up repeating myself, but I just think it's overdone. So, yes, pull out some classic chosen one books that I loved when I was a child. I loved them, I still love them. They hold a fond place in my heart. But I tell you, if I come across a fantasy novel, like a modern fantasy novel with a chosen one, it just ain't for me these days. I feel like it's so the word primitive sticks in my mind, and I
Mm,
don't say that as a disparagement. What I mean is that it is a core archetype. It is
yeah.
so core. It is such a fundamental archetype that it's kind of
Mhm.
a primitive, right? So
Yeah.
all I think all other heroes derive from the chosen one.
In fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
and
is yeah. I think it would be interesting to see the chosen one in genres that we
yeah,
don't
yeah,
see it.
here's
Like
an exercise. Let's set aside fantasy, horror, and we'll even say science fiction.
mhm,
Think of a genre where you could plant a chosen one.
satire.
Satire, yeah.
Satire would be
Uh,
fantastic.
I guess you could do historical. Obviously, King Charles was destined almost not.
Yeah.
Elizabeth might have outlived him, but yeah, so you might have somebody who is destined to take the throne simply through their bloodline, right? Yeah.
Or you could do as a romance, you could do a riff on, like, Sleeping Beauty, where, she has been chosen, she has been marked with this curse.
But
And
then you're
then
in fantasy.
but
Then you're in
no, but
fantasy.
if you do a riff on it, where you're writing, like, a contemporary romance, but you're using it, like, in the back seat to kinda drive stuff, you're not writing a fantasy, you're writing contemporary romantic fiction, you have a chosen one. You could do it.
I object. If you're
You
doing fantastic elements, you're
what
writing fantasy.
what
I'm
about
sorry. Ooh, look at this. We're generating controversy, Megan. I love it.
what
I'm not giving
about
in on this. Yeah, no, go ahead.
some, young adult, but not young adult fantasy, like high school dramas,
But you
like
just said fantasy.
I said not fantasy.
Okay.
I said young adult, not fantasy. So
Okay. So
some
young
books
adult.
exist. Young
Okay,
adult.
young adult chosen one. Let's hear it.
What
Pitch
about
it to me.
a competition, like an election, student council election, and everybody thinks it's going to be, it's got to
Beth.
be Beth, right?
Yeah.
Right. Then you have the outcast who's running against Beth,
Okay.
right? And maybe you're a trickster too. We could have the whole stable come in
So at the end, the outcast wins,
because the outcast is the chosen
but
one.
then Beth was not the chosen one.
No, it's a trick. It's we
It's a
because
subverted.
because
It's
as
subverted.
we
Yeah.
build it up, we start realizing that the chosen one has always been the outcast.
Okay.
Add book 12 to my list.
I want
Book
you to
12 is on the
yeah,
list.
I need you to write this book,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna read it, and then I'm gonna tell you if you succeeded.
Probably not. I don't know how to write young adult at all.
I don't either.
I have no idea.
Uh,
I
yeah.
already put the chosen one in the sin bin months ago. So I am not changing. It is a D for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can it be done competently and some flair? Now, yeah. Am I
Mhm.
interested? No.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry to people who love this. I'm not going to call it shit. Caught myself there. Um, love this archetype. It is not my bag. Go with God. How about the lovable rogue?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love me a lovable rogue, and immediately so something modern, actually, it's not modern anymore, Jesus, I'm so old, but, I think of, like, Firefly, right? Malcolm
Mhm.
Reynolds.
Mhm.
Um, he is the lovable rogue. I don't know why, Malcolm Reynolds just kinda jumped into my head, and now I can't think of anybody else.
You already mentioned Jack Sparrow, but
Jack Sparrow, yeah,
he's
yeah.
also a lovable rogue.
Mhm, yes.
Pirate stories, there are whole subgenres in romance that include lovable rogues who are the heroes
Mhm.
of the male main character. So I I love me a lovable rogue. I can't help
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I read a romance novel in college where the male main character was literally named Rogue, and I didn't close the book. Some I was young and dumb. It was actually a
That's
good book.
funny.
If I can remember, I'll put in the show notes, but, I love it. Um,
So I'll give you an example, Han Solo.
Han Solo, of course!
Right? Yeah. It just popped into my head.
Look, Jesus
So
Christ.
yeah, he's
For many women, a moment of sexual awakening.
yes.
So yes, for a good reason.
Okay, this is really gonna date me. Are you ready for
Okay.
this?
I'm totally ready.
Jack Colton, Romancing the Stone.
Oh my god! Okay,
Yeah.
this is where I tell a story about Shane, which may or may not make it on the show, but I have to tell you the story anyway. So Shane on the regular forgets that he owns copies of the Romancing the Stone, and I've watched him buy copies of Romancing the Stone when I've been telling him, "Dude, you have 3 copies already at home?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know, but it's, like, in a set, with, like, other stuff." Like, "You also have Jewel of the Nile, so why are you buying this?"
Well, that's
I don't know.
really
He
funny.
has so we think he has in different media at least 6 copies of Romancing the Stone. It's pathological at this point.
That is hilarious. That's really funny.
So, yes. So, yeah, I love me one. I'm gonna give it an A. Straight up, down the middle A. Love it. No problems here.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Yeah, I'll give
So,
it an A. Yeah.
hell yeah! We're allowed to agree with each other sometimes.
I know. I can't
Lovable
do it
rogue.
anymore, Megan. I can't
It's
do
okay.
it.
Lovable rogue, you are saved from death.
That's right.
Full acquittal. Okay, here's another one. The caretaker or the
Mhm.
martyr.
Mhm. Mhm. Joan of Arc.
So many martyrs. So little time. Yeah. Look, I've read a lot of Victorian fiction,
Mhm.
some of which is better than others. Unfortunately, it is replete with these please shit on me types.
Mhm.
And uh it can be people who are genuinely brave, but willing to take it on, and fight, to doormats, to one note, characterizations. "Sorry, little Nell died for your sins. Charles Dickens said so." So,
Yeah.
it's and she obviously she's not a caretaker, but she is a martyr.
Mhm.
So for me,
Okay, before you decide,
okay,
let me give you an example
okay,
of a caretaker,
okay.
Samwise Gamgee,
Oh, that's true.
right?
Mm,
Without Samwise,
yeah,
again, the ring does it turns out that you needed every one of them, okay,
yeah.
to get the ring to the volcano, but Samwise, like, literally picks up Frodo and carries him the rest of the way.
So basically, you're telling me that The Lord of the Rings is some pinko socialist
I
bullshit
know,
where
it is really
community.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
let me give you one that, how about this? A main character that is also a caretaker. I have one already in mind.
Tell me.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Mary Poppins,
Fuck yeah!
right? Yeah. Literally, like, that's her
Literally.
job. She's a
Yes.
caregiver. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a bad bitch too, on top of everything else.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Shit, man. Why'd you do this to me?
What about, Atticus Finch? Does he fit
Nah,
in, just for
yeah,
so anyone knows, To Kill a
eh,
Mockingbird?
maybe.
'Cause, I mean, he's a caretaker of justice.
True.
He's also a martyr of
He is also a
justice.
martyr. Yes. Let's talk about all the white people in To Kill a Mockingbird, like, we can't help it, you know? But
Way to bring the room down. Okay. Fair,
sorry,
fair. It's a
we
fair cop.
already knew we were
Okay.
gonna get canceled at one point or another. Okay, C plus, C plus, B
C plus.
minus, C plus, B minus. Could be B minus. Mary Poppins, though, is an A minus because
See,
I
and for
love her.
me, it's Samwise Gamgee that elevates the archetype. I'm gonna give it a solid B.
Okay, again, highly specific on who we're talking about,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
let's say that the caretaker martyr hasn't gone full martyr by dying for their sins and also to save the world, but has gotten a reprieve from death. So, well done, caretaker martyr.
Yes, yes. Kaylee in Firefly. Man, I could do caretakers all day. Yeah,
Damn, boy.
sorry. Go ahead.
It's
Go
okay.
let's move on.
Well, talking about names, let's talk about ones who got names. So
Okay.
So as I was trying to come up with this, I was talking to a friend of mine about archetypes, and he
Mhm,
suggested the Darcy, the Fitzwilliam Darcy. So the original, fan fucking tastic, right? We don't really see a Darcy before him in literature.
mhm,
Somebody
mhm.
he's got a lot of money. He's brooding.
Right?
He's
Needs a
handsome.
wife.
He
Yep.
needs a wife. He's totally emotionally constipated, and he is also a secret romantic.
Mhm.
We recognize him now, but the reason why we recognize him now is because he was such a great type to begin with that he
Yeah.
gets replicated again and again and again.
So he's obviously the chosen one, right?
I don't know about that. Yeah, look,
I mean, she did wind up choosing him, right?
she
So
did, but it took her a little while
yeah,
to
yeah.
get
It also
there.
was not a given.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't because he's total shit.
I feel like Jane Austen would have me flogged for saying
No, I don't think so. You're supposed to hate him a bit.
that. Okay.
So,
Okay.
I have mixed feelings about the Darcy. I think where he's been reinterpreted well, what is the obvious retellings of Pride and Prejudice,
Mhm. Mhm.
Bridget Jones's Diary, and Mark Darcy is Fitzwilliam Darcy.
What God, is it called Austenland?
Yeah,
That movie?
Austenland. Yeah.
Austenland. That really so you don't have to cut this because 'cause I'm gonna make enemies here. Um, that really terrible movie that Jane Austen fans, for some inexplicable reason, seem to love, Austenland, and by the way, it has one of my favorite actresses in it, Kerry Russell.
Mhm.
She's fantastic, but I gotta tell you, this movie is bad, and I think that Austen fans are going to come at me with pitchforks and torches, and I'm sorry, but I will die on this hill. It was a terrible movie, okay? Anyway, continue.
I have not
I
seen
had to
it.
get that out.
It's okay. Just purging. It's all
Yes.
good. I think it can be very funny because he is a figure of both desire and also ridicule.
Mhm.
so that you put somebody up on a pedestal and then you just knock them down. They're human, just like us.
I do like that, yeah.
I I love me a Darcy. Again, as always, it's the execution, but I will say I am saving Mr. Darcy from the electric chair, which was not a thing in his time, but that's okay. From the firing squad. Um, and I will give him an A, solid A.
Okay. I'll give him a B. Since the Austin fans are coming for me anyway,
Mhm.
I'll just give him one more thing to throw on the pile. Yeah, I'm gonna give Darcy a B.
So you're giving him a ticket, essentially. Like in it like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm slapping it on his windshield and,
Look, I
no, I think he's gotta appear in court. Yeah.
I think all Mr. Darcys should get a fix-it ticket because they all need to be fixed. They've all got
Okay.
serious problems. They
Well,
all need to
okay.
go to
That's
therapy.
true.
They
That's
all
true. I'm being a little harsh on him. I don't know why. It's
Lizzie
really because I just don't like that movie.
Lizzie should have gotten Darcy into therapy a lot earlier. I don't not a lot earlier. God, I mean, it would have been great if there was therapy at that time. They all needed it,
Mhm,
even
mhm,
Lizzie. Okay, how about the Hannibal, as in Hannibal Lecter?
mhm.
Yes.
Basically the charming monster. Yeah, so first of all, I love me Hannibal.
Mhm.
So he's great. He's great in the book. He's great in the movies. I will tell you right off the bat, I'm going to give the Hannibal an A. I am trying to think of monsters beyond. Oh, it was a book. It was also made into a TV series. The guy that puts his girlfriend in the basement in the little jail that he created for her. Because it turns out he's like the perfect boyfriend, but then it turns out he's a psychopath.
I don't know this
My
one.
God.
I don't know
Yes,
this
you
one.
do. As soon as you it takes place in a bookstore. He owns this
You!
yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I am thinking of I can't remember his name, the main character in You, right? He's a charming monster.
Joe, it's Joe.
Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Yes.
Yeah, Joe.
So,
So,
yes,
yeah,
charming monster.
yeah.
Yes.
Um, I am writing a charming monster right
Yes,
now.
you are. Yes,
I
you are.
am. I can't stop writing a charming monster. Kind of addicted to it. Uh, God, there is so much to unpack with charming monsters. There's so many levels. Like, are they crazy? Do they have some sort of like mood disorder? Are they just shitheads? Like, is it a who hurt you or is it you know, born this
Mhm.
way.
Mhm.
There are so many different ways it can go. They can be lovable rogues also.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, because they could be good, charming monsters, and they could be Hannibal Lecters who will fucking eat you.
My first book, I put it in beta readers' hands, and one of the big bits of feedback that I got was that they really thought that my antagonist, who is a very, very bad guy, I wanted to make him somewhat sympathetic. And so one of the things I did is I gave him a very good relationship with his wife. He adores his wife. And people came back to me and said, I don't understand why you made him bad because I really liked him. And then I was, like, disappointed when he started doing all these bad things, and I
Mhm.
actually kinda had to almost rewrite him from scratch. In fact, I added an entire new scene just to show what a terrible person he was,
Yeah.
right up front. So you get that terrible person right up front, and then, oh, by the way, he also adores his wife. In my 3rd book, my main character is also a charming monster.
They're just a lot of fun to
Yeah,
write. I'm
yeah.
sorry. And, the feedback I've gotten from betas and alphas is that they can't get enough of him.
Mhm,
They want more.
mhm.
I mean, God, to hear that is wonderful. But it's also like, okay, um, how do I up the ante? Because I've just had him do something horrible here. How do I keep the balance between awful and lovable? And lovable doesn't
Mhm.
mean that you feel affectionate necessarily about it.
Right,
It's
right.
like, I want more.
Yeah.
I want more
Well,
of this
again,
person.
I mean, we're naming it Hannibal, right? And
Yes,
Hannibal,
yes.
super, super charming
Mhm.
and just so freaking creepy. And Thomas Harris does such a fantastic job of walking that line. Now, unfortunately, I think his later books don't do such a great job, but in Silence of the Lambs, I think he nails it perfect.
Yeah. It's yeah. God, it's like eating Hostess cupcakes, right? It's
Yeah.
like, I know that I shouldn't love this disgusting thing, but I'm totally eating both of these Hostess cupcakes right
Yeah.
now, and you
I thought
can't
you were
stop
gonna
me.
say liver and fava beans, but okay.
No, Hostess cupcakes, because I am a lady. S tier. Thank you. Boom.
Yeah, yeah, I think so, S tier. When it's done right.
Yes.
It can be not done right, and then it fails, but yeah. We could say that about any of these.
Another suggestion I had from a friend was the Sherlock.
Mhm.
Mhm, and kind of the different shades of Sherlock, the detective, but in particular, the Sherlock.
Mhm.
So, the insufferable genius, who figures it all out. And in this conversation that I was having, it was also about Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple as being 2 different flavors that were almost in, like, reverses of each other, where Miss Marple is consistently underestimated, but has all her shit together all the time and gets there. And Poirot looks from the outside, if you're not looking too closely, like he looks the part of the detective. He's kinda hapless.
Uh-huh.
So, it's all of the big brains that figure it all out that we know that there is a detective and that the detective is going to solve it.
Mhm.
So, do we let them get away with too much? Because we assume that they're going to be, the genius. I personally okay, I liked Sherlock Holmes when I was a teenager, and I'm totally over the fucking shit. Sorry. I know that I have seen Sherlock. I've seen various iterations of Sherlock, modern day ones.
Mhm.
I wanted to like them more than I like them. I'm just sick of this poor, and it almost always is a man, Miss Marple accepted. Again, underestimated, who is forgiven for being an asshole,
Right.
a neglectful, self-centered, but it's all in aid of a greater cause.
Right.
Fuck it. Sorry.
Or it's in aid of just the joke of it all, right? Like, "Oh, look, he's being an asshole, isn't this funny?"
Look at him, he's a brilliant asshole. So the brilliance
Right.
excuses his assholery, you know?
Right. I think the Benedict Cumberbatch, series was probably the last one I enjoyed. 'Cause yeah, I feel like it's overdone. Now some examples that are not Sherlock Holmes are, do you remember the Monk TV series?
Yeah!
That was great. So
He had OCD.
he had OCD. Yeah, yeah, he was, like, on the spectrum, right?
Mhm,
And so that was a brilliant take on kind of the genius detective.
mhm.
That was very fresh. So I like fresh takes
Yeah.
like that. There's a British series, I think it's called Patience. I have not seen it, but I am told that that also has features a detective on the spectrum. So that might fit into this architect. It might not. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's hang 'em
What?
high. Sorry. Hang 'em high.
Yeah. So
D. D
yeah,
plus. Sorry.
if
Hate
you're brilliant, what are we calling this one?
the Sherlock, the insufferable genius.
The insufferable genius, yes. If your insufferable genius is kind of an asshole, then I'm pretty much over it, and yeah, I'll be there to pull the lever as they drop through the chute. If, on the other hand, you've got a very unique take on it, like Monk
Mhm.
B, so I'll split my vote there, but yeah, you've gotta bring something new to it. If your take is it's Sherlock Holmes, but in the 27th century, pass.
It's Sherlock Holmes, but it's a lady in ancient
Right.
Rome.
Yeah. Well, actually, that sounds interesting. Is
Book
she an
13.
asshole? Is she an
Oh,
asshole?
she's a total asshole.
Yeah, I don't
She's a total
well, God, I
asshole.
don't know.
She's a slave owner.
Can I fix her?
I don't know. The
Need
answer is
to
if
go
you are asking the question, "Can I fix her?" If you even ask it, the answer is always no,
okay.
okay? The answer is absolutely not.
Oh my god.
Yes.
We are gonna do BLF
Okay,
after
so,
dark.
yeah, could you fix Amy from Gone Girl, Kirk?
Ooh, wow. You know what? I can't fix myself.
Exactly.
I don't know that I can fix anybody. Amy from Gone Girl, I mean, no, I would not stand a chance against Amy from Gone Girl. Not not a chance.
No, no. So if you have to ask yourself this question,
Wow, is she a Sherlock archetype? That's an interesting question, isn't it?
she
She's
kind of
brilliant.
she's brilliant. She's an asshole. She's
Yeah.
forgiven quite a bit of stuff, at least in the start. Maybe she is. Oh,
How about that? We just, like, discovered that. We just
boom,
riffed and boom. Yeah,
boom, boom. This is why you come to BLF, and
right.
this is what we give you for free. Again, Patreon coming soon. No, it's not. If you want to join the platinum level BLF fan base,
Yeah.
you can hear more, even more of this with even
The unedited cut.
unedited. Dude,
Woof.
if you only knew.
Yeah.
So what's our final take on archetypes? Useful, not useful? Can you just not
I think
fucking help it?
mandatory. I
I
think
think it's
mandatory.
mandatory too.
Again, I said this earlier, I challenge you to write a character, any character, main character, supporting characters, whatever. I challenge you to write one that does not fall into at least one archetype.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agreed.
And it's just because it's how our monkey brains are wired.
Bless our monkey brains. So I think it's time for some hot goss about an archetype that we don't need to hear any more about.
Let's do
It's
it.
you didn't know that you came to BLF for discussion of Hitler, but here we are.
God,
Um,
yeah. What the
Sorry.
hell?
Okay. Question for you. Does Bookstagram need special editions of Mein Kampf with sprayed edges and aesthetic posts about having them in your to be read pile?
Yeah. I saw this and Megan, I gotta tell you, I don't know. Well, no, I
Oh
do
no, you
know,
know.
but j- my God, what is wrong with people? Like, seriously, what is wrong with people?
Oh Lord.
Cause let me tell you something. I'm gonna cop to something here. I have read Mein Kampf.
Okay.
I read it, God, I don't know. I was 16, 17 years old. I was in that age, right, where you think you're edgy, right? And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna read it just to educate myself." And I don't even remember where I got the copy. I need to tell you, it is not even a good book. I mean, of course it's an evil book, right?
Mhm.
But it's not even well written. It's not well structured. It is it does not have a cohesive thesis. It's just not good. So when people say we should read Mein Kampf because we need to, it's a historical
It's an
document.
artifact. It's a document.
It isn't yeah, if you want to learn about Hitler because of some academic reason, you're not going to get anything out of Mein Kampf. You're just not going to.
Are you surprised that Hitler was not able to write a good book?
Yeah, no, I'm not
Of
surprised at
course
all.
you're not surprised.
Yeah. So
Of
so
course.
So these morons that are justifying it, on Book Talk on Instagram saying, "Oh, but we need to understand the history." You can understand the history without reading this stupid effing book.
No, if you wanna learn more about the Nazis and you like comedy
Yeah.
podcasts,
Be in America in 2026.
true, true.
Sorry.
But, if you wanna learn more about the Nazis and you like comedy, and I mean this, genuinely, you like comedy podcasts. The last podcast on the left, guys have done so
Yeah.
many different ones about the
Mhm.
Nazis, which are incredibly easy to listen to while also covering some of the hardest stuff, really difficult stuff. They're great about getting stuff in context. Not the early ones that they did, I'll be totally honest, but everything in the past 5 years or so that they've done that's touched on the Nazis, the Holocaust, what was going on in Japan during the Second World War, these are approachable and will teach you about the horrors and the
Yeah.
banality
Yeah.
of evil in a way that will reach you more than
And
anything that that fucker ever put down on a page.
yeah, and that's the takeaway from Hitler, not his stupid little
No.
manifesto, but what he actually did to the world. So, yeah,
The short answer is no, we don't need it. I think the longer answer is
most uncontroversial
no.
hot goss
I
ever.
know.
Yeah.
The longer question, by one letter is Why? Um, why? Why would you do this? Is it because you think this'll get you clicks and,
Yes.
notoriety?
Yes.
Friends, this moment in America will pass. Um,
Mhm.
it will pa
Mhm.
and it will pass faster than you think. And to all of the doom and gloomers out there, this is your correspondent Pollyanna speaking. We are in America capable of doing really amazing stuff really goddamn fast if we want to. If we have the will, again, we're becoming a political podcast. Sorry, not sorry. We can have the will to rebuild after this, and we can do it really fast. And what that means is burying shit like this under the rubble. No lifeboats for any of these people. That includes these people with pretty aesthetics and they're like deckle-edged copies of Mein Kampf. You're going under the rubble too. I am sorry, Melinda. Melinda reads books. You're going under. I just made that up. I have to. If Melinda reads books is an actual listener or exists, I am
We are
so
so
sorry,
sorry, Melinda.
Melinda. You
Please
probably
forgive
read
us.
delightful, cozy
You
cupcake
know, like,
fantasy
your
books.
Amazon gift card is on the way.
I'm
Our
so
apologies.
sorry, but but if you are reading Mein Kampf, you're going under the rubble. So
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is too, you know what? The internet never forgets. And so if you are a dumbass and you do something like this, it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. It just is.
it
Even
will.
even if you don't believe even if you're not a Nazi and you're just trying to be edgy for clicks, it's gonna bite you in the
Dude,
ass.
there are plenty of edgy, weird books that
Yeah.
that people
Yeah.
would be like, "The fuck you." I still remember being 16 years old and being on a city bus in New Haven, and I went on that bus to provoke, and I had a copy of Burroughs' The Naked Lunch with me with a
Mm.
particularly
Mhm.
garish, let's call it, cover, and you know what? Nobody cared. It's also a
My
good
f
book, read it.
My favorite author ever, I'll die on this hill, Kurt Vonnegut. His early short stories, kind of very problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanna be edgy? Read some of Kurt Vonnegut's early short stories.
Mhm.
Boom, you're edgy all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't read
there
Nazi
there are
bullshit, or don't put your Nazi bullshit in your pile. You'll
no,
probably not even read it.
read some, like, left-wing nonsense that's gonna make you upset and mad. It's
God, I'd rather you
oh
read
god.
Ayn Rand, and you know how hard it is for me to
Woo!
say that? Jeez.
I was going to, suggest, Valerie Solanas' Scum Manifesto if we really wanted to get out
Oh,
there.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Do that, and then
Yeah,
wear a T-shirt that says, "I hate men."
we
Do
have
it, get on a
plenty
city
of
bus, do it, you know?
we're gonna put together, like, a book recommendation list. It's like, before you read Mein Kampf, read these.
I have so many recommendations, so many. From just subpar, chick lit books that I
Mhm.
consumed all the way through, Scum Manifesto. I got a book for you. Just,
Yeah, right on.
and if you wanna read, Mein Kampf, number 1, check yourself before you wreck yourself, but also 2, Wikipedia exists. You
Yeah,
could read a
yeah.
summary. So, just because it looks good in a slide deck on Instagram doesn't mean that it's a good idea.
And it doesn't look good on a slide deck on Instagram.
It doesn't.
I'm
It
not
might
sorry. Yeah.
again, social media is killing us all. Um, surprise.
Yeah.
So, main takeaway, we've talked about it. Archetypes, they're there for a reason. Monkey brains, ooh, it is.
That's a very good monkey imitation.
Dude, I get paid for this. No, I don't get paid for this.
You don't get paid, no.
Yeah. You can use these, you can abuse these, just don't get sent to prison by me. I am not a nice judge. I am a worse judge than the judge who was very disappointed in me this morning. Your Honor, you are an excellent judge.
Here's what I will say about using archetypes. So, archetypes are really useful when you figure out your character's archetype. What you want to do then is put a little effort into researching that archetype so that you don't go too far afield. I mean, unless you're doing something crazy like subverting the archetype, in which case you still need to research it because you need to figure out how to subvert that archetype in the right way. But once you've figured out the archetype of your character, like read up on that so that you are not accidentally going outside of that architect too far and making your character just this weird amalgam of stuff.
I would recommend doing more research than Kirk and I did for this episode today, for example.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but,
Or any episode.
or some
That's
of
not true. You do a lot of research.
I have there are some that I have done some research for. A
Yes.
modicum. So you can find us. We are Badlit Friends on all the socials that will kill your soul. We are on Blue Sky. We are on Threads. We are also on Instagram, which brought the goods this week with Mein Kampf as an aesthetic choice. Bad choice. We are also on YouTube and on Spotify and all major podcast platforms. Our Spotify and YouTube metrics continue to improve. So
Although now that Mein Kampf is gonna show up in the we probably ought to, like, asterisk out Mein Kampf in the show notes.
I will be vague, extremely vague
Probably a
about
good
this.
idea.
But, again, please follow us and like us on Spotify and on YouTube
Yes,
because
please.
it brings more people. I know I say it every week, but it genuinely has been people have been doing it and it has been creating an increase in the number of people who are coming to these pages and also the number of listening hours. So again, thank you. And a big thank you again to Regina Robbins for stepping in the other week.
Yes,
She
thank you so
listened.
much, Regina, for picking
Yes.
up my slack and not being so much better than me that I get
I'm
to come back on the
so in
show.
awe of her
I know.
all the
I know
time.
she's fantastic. I was listening to her. I
I
was like,
know.
"Wow, she
I
needs a podcast."
She had a podcast, but unlike you, her podcast partner flaked out. So, yes, she needs a Kirk. So,
She should come back.
I would love to have Regina come back. Now that we've, taught her I blew her mind with so many, weird bookish things. The first person insert, she was like, "What the fuck is wrong with people?" You just gotta live in this space for a little while, hon. So you wanna tell us a little bit about your idea for next week?
No. Yes. Yeah, so and bear in mind, so I don't have an outline for this yet or anything like that, but what I want and so by the way, if you want to shoot me ideas, you can hit me up on socials. I'm Kirkraff, KIRKRAFF on Threads and Instagram. I am kirkrafferty.com on Blue Sky. Or the easier way to do it would be to hit Badlit Friends and just message us there because we're Badlit Friends everywhere on every
Mhm.
social platform, or send us an email,
We
badlitfriends@gmail.com.
might even
What I
reply.
What's that?
We might
Hey,
even
we
reply.
may reply. We may re we're not great at it.
Sorry to our would-be guests.
Sorry. But, yeah, what I wanna talk about is how authors are kind of pushed and pulled in all kinds of different directions. And so I'll have a little better idea about that. But if you've got kind of some experience where you've been pulled in different directions, so say pulled by, in one direction by a literary agent, but in another direction by your writing friends, by social media, for example, if you wanna reach out and kinda share stories about that, that would be fantastic. Like I say, it's sort of still gelling in my head, but, yeah, that's what I wanna talk about next week.
I have it as shorthand in my brain, authors versus the world.
Yeah, oh my god.
So,
That's our title.
authors versus the world, people. Join us. Fight. Fight,
Yes.
fight, fight. Sorry. Oh, no. We're getting political again.
We are. It's capitalism's fault.
It is. It's always capitalism. Sorry. They
Always.
pay us to mention capitalism.
That's right. We're owned by big capitalism.
We are. Now that the Soros checks have dried up,
I know,
it's
damn it.
okay. But until next time and until our next Soros check, we will see you then.
Bye.